Hey everyone, it's Kyle with BitConnectLoan.com. Today we're just going to take a look at the live trading of Bitcoin here. So you can see it's sold off pretty heavily over the past 2 days, 3 days. So we're coming down pretty extended or oversold here in consideration of the moving averages. Let's take a look at this chart here. So you can see that we've come down almost to 61% retracement, which is the golden ratio. So it's pretty healthy after such a huge leg up. And then I'm putting it at this peak here, but I'm just put it right there. So there's a couple things when you look at this chart. So you could say that it's gonna bounce off this support here or this pivot. We would want to see some sideways consolidation right here. And then a bounce up. I would look to go long potentially here up into this fib here, considering that we don't have a lower or a higher low established. So we're not seeing these stair steps like we did over in these days here during this time frame. And also we're seeing a head and shoulders pattern, which is a pretty bearish sign. So that's why this is pulling back here. So you have the first shoulder here, then we get a spike up into the head, what we're calling the head and shoulders, and then we get a nice pullback about equal to this first shoulder, and then another push up. And it did try to break out on this spike here, but we never really saw any like solid candles that went above this previous high. It just sold off super fast, and that's what established the other shoulder. And then we saw the continuation of a downtrend. So if you're looking to go long here, I would say it's okay. If you look at the daily, you're right into the 26 moving average here, or probably a better moving average would be 20, the 20-day moving average. So you have a lot of support. You could see that since September, it's really been like hugging those moving averages, and then we finally get the pullback here over these 3 days. And so I'm assuming there's probably going to be a bounce here, is what I would anticipate. And you can see here we got some buyers coming in, so it's pretty even, like the buying and selling over this time frame here. And I'm looking at a 4-hour chart. It seems to be pretty equal. Like buyers and sellers are agreeing on this price, so we're seeing some sideways action here. And I can imagine that support with that moving average is probably going to kick it back up. And I would look to probably go long and then maybe exit here. So that's a pretty good move. 63.55. It's a $500 move. Wow. So yeah, you could look to sell into that spike and into that strength if you're going to go long. So let's see. 63.59. Yeah, we're getting like a nice little bounce. Even a dip below that moving average there. This is really hard. This is kind of a harder chart to tell. It is giving you the live orders here. So yeah, we might see some buying, and let's see, that moving average that it would come back up into is potentially going to be around 6,800. So what did I say over here? Yeah, look at that. So it's going to come up. There's a moving average here. I still haven't figured out this charting system here. But I'm assuming there's a way to get some moving average on this chart, so I'll take a look at this. But I'm using Fibonacci here to show some retracement. So you can see that's a pretty huge leg up, and then if this is what we're calling the top, we're going to see some nice downside, a nice pullback, and then we'll see hopefully another set of stair steps going back up. But if you wanted to buy and hold it and not trade it, I would say that you should probably wait. Like this, my long recommendation here is for a trade, and you're out just before 6,800, and then you can see what happens after that. I would assume like a nice little pullback, and you would want to see a higher low established like this here up to here. This is a higher low than this one. So when it starts to trend back up, you could assume that it's going to continue higher. So that's what it did. It just kept establishing higher lows and so on and so forth. And then this one was the indicator that something's going on. It's a lower low than this one, than this turning point or pivot point is what we call it in trading. And then we saw it spike up, and that was a clear head and shoulders pattern. And that's pretty bearish once you get over to the right shoulder, or this shoulder over here, and then we see the pullback. So just wanted to give you that, and let's talk about how you can avoid the volatility here. Like, had you gone long up here, you're probably sitting in the red because you were hoping for another breakout, and you could say like, oh, we're going to go up and see 8,000 and beyond, when in reality a lot of people are going to start taking profits, and that's exactly what happened. And they're waiting for that pullback. So a way to avoid that is this program called BitConnect. What you can do is enter their lending program here, and I'm not going to get too much into it. I have other videos on it, but what we're looking at here is the daily interest rate that they're paying you on a loan that you set up in their system. So if you started with $100, then you're going to get paid this percentage that day, this percentage that day on the 100, and so on and so forth. And then eventually you'll have some earnings to show for it. So they're allowing you to compound your interest essentially, and it really adds up. I think this week I've made about $50 on my loan, and I'm reinvesting that money back into the total active investment, so I can keep earning an interest rate on a higher dollar amount until I hit my daily goal. So I want to see around $500 per day is what I want to be earning out of this program, and then I can start banking that cash for quite some time, and then potentially continue my reinvestments or not, depending on what it's like at that time for me in my life. So it's going to take a year and a half to get to there, but you have to start at some point, right? If you're going to get started. So if you are interested in this, I'll leave a link down below to sign up, and then I can answer any questions that you have, because you do need to set up a Coinbase account, and you're going to need to set up a GDAX account so you can purchase Bitcoin and then transfer that Bitcoin to BitConnect, and then there's a currency conversion there, and then you can essentially create your loan in US dollars. And when I say you're avoiding the volatility, you're not buying and holding Bitcoin and then trying to sell it at a higher price, or get smoked and sell it at a lower price and lose that original dollar amount. My original investment is still the same. Like it's not susceptible to these huge swings in the market. So whether it's Bitcoin or whatever other currency, it's the dollar amount is the same as when I started, and I'm just earning a healthy interest on that, in which I'm able to compound over time, and that's what's really going to build up a healthy profit and a healthy an account that's going to show some really high numbers, hopefully, is what I'm thinking. So email me, kyle@bitconnectloan.com. I will try to help you in any way I can. I hope you have a good evening. Cheers.